on my feet. Put y'all over me. Louboutin and Valentino, you ain't getting what you see. Prada on my feet. Put y'all over me. Louboutin and Valentino, you ain't getting what you see.
Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Friday. And we are live once again. We were live during the morning hours. Now we are live during the evening hours, of course. And today we are talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow is the big one. Arsenal versus, of course, West Ham. Arsenal versus West Ham. Yeah, we are playing them tomorrow at home at the Emirates. Not the best results as of now against West Ham, to be honest, recently, at home especially, because we have lost to them on 2 times in a row. So definitely tomorrow's game has some extra weight riding on it. We need a statement win without shadow of a doubt. We need to get the maximum amount of points, and we need to score loads of goals. I want to go into international break with some positive emotions. After last time we went international break after losing 1-0 to Liverpool, it was misery to say the least. And now we are playing against West Ham, against a team that we have not beaten, 2 times in a row at home. So, hey, haha. But hey, there's also talk about new manager bounce and all this stuff with Nuno Espirito Santo at the wheel. So we'll see how that is going to go. But yeah, people. Bless me. But yeah, people, if you haven't already, smash the likes, subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to leave your thoughts down in the live chat, people. Like and subscribe. Big up AFC always. Hope you're doing well. Big up Beggy. Big up yous. Big up punks. If you have time, you can also jump on if you have a second to spare. Just saying. Here is Views' channel, people. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe also to his second channel. If there is possibility, please someone put in the channel his second link, obviously. But yeah, people, go subscribe, show him some love. A real one, says it as it is, calls the club up to the standard, people. Big up. Thank you. Big up, Camden. Big up. I had basically my girlfriend who wasn't feeling well, so she went to bed before I went live. So basically, I rescheduled it. I basically streamed today at 8 a.m. UK time. I went live then, so I'm doing double stream today, basically. That's what I'm doing. So I streamed at 8 a.m. If you didn't catch it, you can go watch it, obviously, on the playback stuff. But yeah, I'm live once again today for the second time. And yeah, as I said, West Ham versus Arsenal. What are we expecting today? Tomorrow, that is the big thing. I call for a clean 4-0, but it will be a 2-1 at best. You think we're gonna struggle? Looking at Nuno Espirito Santo, that he actually is a very good manager. People talking about this new manager bounce going in, so we'll see how that's gonna escalate things, of course. But overall, yeah, I hope we have a very decisive win. We win like 3-0, 4-0, like a statement, big win. And also, obviously, as I said, I want to go into international break with a win. I don't want to go into international break with another L. I just put it that way. Here is Views' second channel, people. Go show him some love. He's still figuring things out what to do on that channel. Maybe some reactions to some highlights or something, or best of, or some live chat or something interesting. Up to you. But yeah, go subscribe to him. I'm all. Oh, I see. Have a nice time out. Hopefully it's not raining. It's not too cold, so stay safe. And if it is cold, hopefully your feet are dry, because nothing is worse than cold feet. And if your feet are cold, then, well, when you get home, make yourself some hot tea with lemon and honey, or some hot cocoa. Just putting it out there. Big up, everyone. I see it's raining, I guess. Igal is gassing up Arteta for having the most win ratio in Arsenal history. Compare that with the trophies of George. I don't even know what to say, to be honest. How can you gas up win ratios when Arteta wins fuck all, when those two have won basically, to be honest, everything besides Champions League for Arsenal? Like, come on, people. Come on. What are we doing here? I can see this being another stinky 1-1 board draw. I hope it's not. I literally hope it's not. Genuinely hope. I'm afraid that it could turn into that. I kind of can see it turning into Stinkfest. But I hope it doesn't. I genuinely hope it does not. So we'll see how that's going to go. Obviously, you're going to see how that's going to go, but that is the hope. Honestly, I'm actually worried about 1-0 West Ham. However, it must be 3 points. Yeah, it must be 3 points. 3 points are a must. Nothing less than that will do. Because we spoke about also this in the morning stream, basically that if we lose any of the next 5 games, which is basically Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, Sunderland, all these teams, the win against, by the way, the win against Newcastle means nothing. Genuinely means nothing. The win against Newcastle away at St. James's Park means only something if we don't drop points against these smaller teams. And we know how Arsenal operate usually. We do well against big teams and we fumble against the smaller teams. So, and in the last 2 years against West Ham, it has been shocking to say the least. We make their fans quit and leave the stadium basically in the first half at London Stadium, but when they come to Emirates, they somehow show us up. This trend cannot continue whatsoever. This trend cannot go on. So hopefully that changes tomorrow. Stormy out here today in London. I see. Stay safe, stay warm. Hopefully you are inside and then nothing's bothering you. Big up Fusion is not jazz. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. How the Arteta at 300 games already, it madness, and that 58% win rate means nothing without trophies. Exactly. 58% win rate on paper seems nice because you win more than half of the games. Then again, let's be real. It means nothing if you don't win anything. Might as well have 45% win rate. But if you win the games that actually matter, the finals, you get to the finals, you win the finals and everything, then it matters, obviously. I don't know about you, apart from London, but I'm part of East London, Lightning. Oh, dude, that's some nasty stuff out there. Big up, coach. Is Ethan the new ESR? I hope not. I literally hope not, because it's starting to look that way, unfortunately, and that for me is the biggest worry. I really, really hope it doesn't. Really hope it doesn't start to become that. Big up, Andrew. Hope you're doing today. I'm shamelessly adopted the ostrich pose, not taking any sides, expecting only a win. Bounces, schmounces, no excuses, no glazing, no gaslighting. To be honest, I'm sitting here saying 3 points or sack Arteta at the end of the day. The next 5 games are very favorable to Arsenal. Like, if we look at Arsenal's schedule in general for the next few games, we're talking about Premier League here, right, people? We're talking about Premier League. It's 5 wins because we have to play West Ham. After international break, we play Fulham away. We have to play Crystal Palace at home, Burnley away, and Sunderland away. All these 5 games should be wins, right? But as we talked about this in the morning, all of these games have a massive asterisk by the name, basically, because West Ham we have lost to them 2 years in a row at home. They have a new manager and all this stuff, right? Second game, Arsenal B team at Carring Cottage away at Fulham. Always struggle there, and it's gonna be a rough one. And we tend to struggle against Fulham. Palace at home. Palace haven't lost 19 games in a row, so in general, you already can assume that it will be tough. It's going to be a struggle no matter how you look at it. So that, again, is going to be out there. Burnley away. Are going to, at Burnley at home, are going to park the stinkiest of buses. We saw what they did against Liverpool. It was just a 96-minute penalty that basically gone them over the line. So I don't expect that to be easy. And Sunderland away, by the way. Sunderland this season at the moment, 6 games in, are in the 4th place in the league. 4th place in the league. So don't expect easy game against them as well. Granit Xhaka settings and all that. Don't expect an easy game. And that is as well just before international break, November 1. So, yes, we have 5 very favorable games. Games we should be winning without shadow of a doubt. Then again, if you look a bit too into it, again, those are all very, very tricky games. Nothing is a given. And that is the biggest worry in all of this. Worried about Ethan and Skelly. Tuchel said he needs to play. Yeah, exactly. That is the biggest thing. Arteta obviously prefers his Italian stallion, the Italian grease, the Italian carrot machine, the Italian galloper, the Italian left back who can play any other position besides left back, over Skelly. And Skelly doesn't get a chance in the 8th because Rice is there, and Arteta isn't. Skelly in the midfield against Foley, and he can't get the kick in the left back as well. So in either way, it's a lose-lose-lose situation for Skelly, unfortunately. And that is now also slowly falling on Mikel Arteta. Palace is tricky alone, yeah. I'm dreading Palace. I'm dreading them all. Yeah, Palace isn't beaten so far. They are unbeaten, and that is another big worry. Our depth will carry us past these teams. Yeah, sure. Sure. The depth should be carrying us. The depth should be helping us. But on paper, yes, our depth is very good. On paper, yes, this team should be winning these games. Reality is a whole different animal, isn't it? And the reality hits you hard always. And football is a humbler no matter how you look at it. So I'm not too excited in those terms. I don't have that much chest to say that Arsenal, the depth is going to carry us past these teams. Because I want to see Arsenal win 5-6 games in a row in Premier League, then we can talk. But if we win 2, then we draw, then we lose, then we win 2 again, at the end of the day, it means nothing then. Because we need to pick up wins at consistent rate. We cannot have these 14 draws. We need to turn those 14 draws from last year, at least 9 or 10 of them, into wins, just to be up there and to challenge properly. So yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. Ironically, I think we had a decent record versus Fulham until recently, but does it even matter? We are still an identified entity until our next 5 games. Yeah, exactly. Next 5 games all should be wins, without shadow of a doubt. Next 5 games should be wins. Now, what's gonna happen in those 5 games? We will start to see tomorrow, of course. But the question is also, we have seen Arteta letting the handbrake go a bit. Not fully, but a bit. For half an hour against Newcastle, for half an hour, 35 minutes. Obviously, as well in Champions League against Olympiacos. After that, again, it has been the same old Arsenal many times. That is another big issue for me. Either Arteta doesn't want to fully let the reins go, or our team has basically been so drained and drilled into this possession football that it's very hard for them to keep the tempo for, let's just say, 60, 70 minutes of the game the way we're playing. Like, obviously, there will be some downfalls. We're going to sit back, and then another team is going to have the ball, and they're going to go forwards. But ultimately, there is something to it. I want to see us to play at least one half on front foot and score about 3-4 goals. Blitz teams, and then we can sit back. Then I don't care. But if it's 1-0 and we sit back and invite the pressure against more skillful team, it's going to cost us. Ultimately, it's going to cost us. Yeah, hopefully. Obviously, hopefully, of course. Big up, Godfrey. Big up, Godfrey. I'm good. I'm very good. Hope you're doing well too, my man. When is Madueke coming back? No idea, but that he's not back for tomorrow's game, definitely. I assume Madueke might be back after international break. That would be the hope, because Arteta has conducted an interview. He has talked about the fact that that Hincapié will be back after international break. Of course, as well, what Timber is next in line after Saka for a new contract, and my camera is doing a mazza. I'm very sorry about that. Timber is about to get a new deal. And to be honest, rightly so. No matter what, Timber is our best right back in the team, one of the best right backs in the league. And he should be getting a pay raise. There should not be a world where Timber gets less money than Ben White and players like that. Ben White is on 90 grand a week, whilst the other players that mostly warm the bench are on 120 to 150. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, overall, it just doesn't make sense. So, yeah, we'll see. Arteta will throw that game in the bin, the regards of depth. I assume you mean Brighton. Doesn't matter who starts. We have the team to win the league, but I want to win it all. I'm not going to lie. I want to win it all. I want the quadruple. I want the treble. I want every single trophy. Saying that, I need a major. I need a major right now. For me, I'm at a point with Arteta, with the money, with the patience, with the time. I am in a position where FA Cup and Carabao Cup double doesn't cut it anymore. We need majors. After all this PR, after all these waffles, after all the money and everything, I need a major. Will I be happy if we win the FA Cup? Yes. I will be farting rainbows and running all across the place. If we win the FA Cup, will I be happy? Yes. I will be jumping all across the pitch and screaming like a little girl. But I need a major. I still need a major. The other trophies at the moment, we need them, but it's not enough anymore. I'm just gonna put it that way. Big up Tyrell. Big up Tyrell. Hope you're doing well today, brother. Hope you're doing well today. What wages would you give Timber? 160, 170, something like that. In those lines. Would I put him in the 200s? No. Over 200, definitely not. Would I put him close to 200? Yes, I can be swayed on that. Now, would I actually do other things? I don't know. But he might actually get double salary increase, I'm not gonna lie, from 90 to 180. Wouldn't surprise me. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he goes from like 90 to like 130 to 140 grand. I wouldn't be surprised because Andrea Berta knows how to do these things, and also I assume Richard Garlick also will do the right things in that department. I want Enrique or Simeone, but at this point, the nice thing about it is if we win or Mikel goes win. In those terms, yes, it's a win-win. If Mikel goes, potentially we should be getting a proper manager. If Arteta wins, well, we win. At the end of the day, it's a win-win. If you had to choose Premier League or Champions League, if I had to choose both, in an ideal scenario, I would choose both. If it's one or the other, I would say the thing is about this Champions League, we have never won. That is the one thing other big teams are holding over us no matter what. So from that point of view, it would be nice, of course. Then again, saying it, even if we win it, every single team has won it multiple times. So we will be the one that, again, they will say, well, we have won it twice. We have won it thrice. How many times you have won it? In Premier League, we have been starred from Premier League for 22 years. At the end of this season, it would be 22 if we don't win, of course. So, yeah, I would take either, to be honest. I would take either. I need a major, no matter how you look at it. Who do you think is getting relegated? Wait, what's the Premier League table? At the moment, at least. What is the Premier League table at the moment? On the bottom, there's Wolves, West Ham, and Burnley. I'm going to go on a limb and say it's going to be Wolves. It's going to be Burnley. And for some weird goddamn reason, I cannot help but say Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest have really screwed up by signing Ange Postecoglou. Like he hasn't won a game with them, or has won only one game or something like that. He's on a very rough spot. Marianakis, I think, really screwed up with signing Postecoglou. And I think that is going to do them more harm than good. And it's going to be Peakham's. I think Postecoglou, unless Marianakis just pulls the madness and sacks him around December, right? I think he's going to stick it out till the end of the season, and they actually going to go down. But knowing Marianakis, I think they will go down. He will sack Postecoglou very soon, because this is pathetic what Postecoglou is doing at Nottingham Forest at the moment. Losing to Swansea in the Carabao Cup in 6 minutes times, 90 till 90 plus 6, conceding 2 goals and going out 3-2, losing games and everything. Like, yeah, it's not looking great. It definitely is not looking great. By the way, people, here is Tyrell's link. Go show him some love. Also an Arsenal fan. Wolves are bad. Yeah, Wolves are bad. There is something very going wrong there, definitely. Obviously, they have lost Cunha, but that should not be enough for them to go this bad. Ange will be sacked. So you would expect it. You definitely would expect it for Ange to be sacked soon, 100%, because what he's doing definitely it's not looking good. Champions League is the one we only touch, never got. Yes, still cursed both keepers in that 2006 file. That is one of the most painful memories. That is one of my first memories, to be honest, as an Arsenal fan who was watching the games on TV. That 2006 Champions League final is the first Arsenal game I watched like live on TV in 2006, and what a game to watch. I've been an Arsenal fan since 2002, 2003. And that in 2006 was the only first game I watched, and that was a Champions League final. And that is definitely one of my most painful memories as an Arsenal fan. Chelsea will beat Pool tomorrow. We have to win. Well, we'll see. We'll see what Chelsea will do against Liverpool. But I can see that game being a draw, like a 2-2 draw. I can see that game being a draw. Big up Enek. Big up Enek. Is Dauman going to be available? Ask Arteta. Dauman is available. Will he register him for the game? That is the other thing. That is the another game. That is a whole different animal. Like that is solely on Mikel. Big up Sweden. Big up Stockholm Gunnar. Big up Sweden. I can see Ange getting sacked after this weekend if they lose badly to Newcastle. What is Forest's schedule? What is Forest's schedule saying? Well, Ange is literally, he could be gone very soon because he has to play Newcastle away at St. James's. After international break, he has Chelsea at home. Then he has Porto at home in Europa League. And then he has Bournemouth away in the Premier League in October 26th. He has a very rough schedule to try to turn it around. And I don't see him doing that. So personally, I think Marianakis is going to pull the plug, I think, during the next international break. There might be a case to it. After all, basically, in 3.5 weeks, Ange could be gone from Nottingham Forest. My painful memory was Nasri Clichy, Sanyan Adebayor going to City. Overall, yes, but for me, that 2006 is my first painful memory as an Arsenal fan in those terms. That is my first painful memory in general. What a memory to have, to be honest. What a goddamn memory to have as an Arsenal fan, first one. Like, it's actually kind of painful to say the least. Let's just put it that way. It's painful to say the least. But yeah, Arsenal, wait. Doesn't matter the schedule. I think overall the game result is clashing overall, and that Greek Tony Soprano doesn't help the situation. Like, he's gonna sack him. Big up Sacks. Gyökeres needs to score tomorrow. Facts. Gyökeres needs to start scoring goals. It's very great to see him getting more chances in the last few games. I'm gonna tell you that much. But one thing definitely, he needs to start scoring. 3 goals in 6 games. Technically, it's not bad. Realistically, it's bad. Let's just put it that way. But for some weird reason, I am not too worried about Gyökeres personally, because he's getting the chances. Yes, he should have scored firsthand the chance he had against Olympiacos, which Martinelli then scored. But overall, yeah, I guess it is what it is. But I can see, what's its face, Gyökeres starting to bag really, really soon. I can see Gyökeres starting to bag the goals really, 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 really soon. Big up Enoch. Big up, man. Update me on Arsenal injuries now. Big up Uganda. Big up Uganda, first of all. We're going to get into the in the interview really quickly and really soon. So we're going to talk about injuries then in about 5 minutes. But Hinkapia is scheduled to be back after international break. Gabriel is looking still 50-50. But apparently Arteta said that he's gonna be good after that landing when he was subbed off for Mosquera against Olympiacos. There were some issues. I'm not gonna lie, I was very worried. Arteta hasn't given much away, but I expect that Arteta is definitely not doing too much in those terms. Arteta is gonna play the mind games. For me personally, I think he might actually not play, but we'll see. And for the rest of the players, that includes Kai Havertz, Madueke, and players like that, they are all out for tomorrow. They are all out for tomorrow, 100%. Will they be back after international break? Time only will tell. I hope Arteta is brave enough to try Rice, Odegaard, Eze in the midfield against West Ham. I love to see it. Yeah, same. I'm not gonna lie, same. Put Rice in the 6, Odegaard in the 8, and Eze in the 10. Do that and see what happens. If Arteta had some cojones, going with this attacking lineup definitely would help. Because you just know that Nuno is going to park the bus. If you put into the equation also, what's its face? Soucek and other players like that, it's going to be a very long day if we don't score quickly. So for me personally, we need some more creativity on the pitch, which means Eze and Odegaard should be starting in the 10 and the 8, personally. Just try it out. Genuinely, just try it out. Why not? Definitely will help. And given the day most likely you are going to play low block, I also can see Trossard starting on the left wing. Martinelli needs more space, and if they play low block, Martinelli is not going to have space. So Trossard, with his technical ability, could be more useful in that regard. But we're going to get to starting 11 very soon. I was at Champions League final in Paris in 2006, seeing Arsenal lose 2 finals in Paris in 1995 and 2006, dude. It might be you, Hendon. It might be you, because you go to those finals and Arsenal keep losing to them. You might be the curse, You might be the curse. Bring back Hein. Well, my painful memory was over. Marston Petit going to Barcelona in the same window. So many painful memories with Arsenal. Then at the same time, there are so many good memories in Arsenal fan, isn't it? He needs a bit of confidence. You mean Gyökeres? I don't think Gyökeres needs confidence. He just needs to score a goal finally. I think after that, the ball is going to start rolling. What if we play Odegaard and Eze and lose? Will you forgive Mikel? Well, depends how we lose. Because for me personally, there is always a way to lose. If we go out and we basically pass around the back and do the recycled possession crap, no chance in hell. If we go out guns blazing and it's a match where it goes one left and right, we hit post a few times, they scam a corner and they win. Okay, cool. We went for it. Yes, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to cuss out Mikel. I'm going to cuss out the players 100% because there has to be accountability. At the same time, I wouldn't be as pissed if Arsenal do the useless thing, because I don't want there are no excuses for Arteta not to win tomorrow, right? And I much rather lose game 3-2 in a attacking football style rather than lose 1-0 to one wonder goal like we did at Anfield, for me personally. Again, it's a bit hard to predict the result, but I think we'll nick it. It's things scrappy win, but different from past 2 years. We need to win tomorrow. Definitely needs to change. We did win Cup Winners' Cup was 92 or 94. I think it was 92. Yeah. And it will be a 3-2 win with Paquette and Bowen scoring. I don't see them that many scoring, I'm not going to lie. So, yeah. Maybe it's just Paris. I've been to 94 Cup. 94, not 92, 94. Sorry, in Copenhagen, and Arsenal won that. I've seen Arsenal lose 5 finals out of all that I've attended. How many finals you have attended, and how many finals basically you have attended? Arsenal finals specifically. That is the other thing. It's been 6 years. Forgive for 6 years, no chance in hell. Because whenever people say, will you forgive Arteta, apologize to this, to that? It's 6 years. Time is ticking. You have done way too much, and you are getting paid way too much for not achieving anything. That's inexcusable, and that's on you. Compare for me the playing style of Arsenal 2025. 25. To be honest, it's pretty much the same. Obviously, at the moment, it's too early to judge because it's only about 10 games into the season with Champions League and Carabao Cup, so it's 9 technically, right? It's too early to judge. Obviously, against Newcastle and Olympiacos, the handbrake was a bit off. So it looks more exciting. It looks more promising if we keep that up, and we kind of extend that, of course. But overall, it's pretty much the same. Same shit, different toilet, as they say. Nothing has changed. Mikel will be slaughtered either way. He has the worst 15 million job. Edu Barbecue showed that Berta was needed, so maybe new manager with fresh ideas. Not maybe new manager. Definitely a new manager with fresh ideas will help. Sick of being second best. Exactly. With Mikel Arteta, it's enough is enough at the end of the day. You win or you get out. That's it. Because you cannot get 15.6 million a year and you do nothing. You have 1 billion in your squad and you do nothing. It cannot work like that. Big up Eros. Benteke music in the building. And see, as Eros comes in, my camera does haywire things. I blame Eros for that. But yeah, big up people. Tell Arteta he can kiss my crown. Yeah, basically. We lost 2-0. Yeah, I know. Why can't you see them scoring? They still have a Bozo moments, no position sense to use it. Yes, but it's going to be different. I expect different man. Obviously, they have a different manager. We're gonna play differently. Obviously, the reference point with the fact that we have lost them 2 years in a row. It's very painful to think about it, and very painful to reminisce over, right? Especially, and obviously, you look at the past to determine the future. That is also the case. But football is a bit different. You don't play football on paper. You play it on the pitch. So technically, anything can happen. Arsenal can win. Arsenal can lose. For me, the hope I don't like. For me, I don't see them scoring two because well, it's early stages. We don't concede that much, and no matter how you look at it, the issue is that we defensively from set pieces are very, very, let's just say, worrying, right? And they have big players who know how to score from corners, and that is again a big issue. Attacking wise, we have this what's its face, the set piece coach. Offensively, yes. Defensively, it feels like he doesn't do any job there half the time because every time the ball gets whipped in from a corner or free kick, if we get lucky, we clear it. Most of the time, it bounces somewhere. It's a scrap. We are scrapping to clear the ball. It's always panic stations, and it's all over the place. Question: Saka, Arteta, and key players who back him leave, like Saka, Saliba, or keep Mikel. How come players love him so much? To be honest, if it means Arteta goes, Saka and Saliba also can go. No player, no manager is bigger than the club. Arsenal have the money to bounce back, to sign the necessary players to replace them. Will it be easy to replace Saka and Saliba? No chance in hell. But do we have the money to do so? Yes, we do. So for me, Saka, Arteta, and if Saka and Saliba goes because of that, let them go. Get proper money for it, find proper replacements, sign proper manager who definitely is going to get way less money than Mikel Arteta, unless you sign like top end manager. And that's about it. They will leave if you look Enrique Hansi. I've attended 15 finals, League Cups, FA Cups, Cup Finals, Cups, Champions League. 15 finals, and we have lost 5. So you have 67% win record. You have better win ratio than Mikel Arteta, Hendon. You should be Arsenal's manager. 100%. You have by a mile better win ratio than Mikel Arteta. Big up G Wills, by the way. Big up G Wills. Gyökeres needs a ball to be released earlier. Our wingers play around him selfishly. He can see he's snatching up the scraps he get, not knowing if he'll ever get another pass. Hence, definitely. He's rushing on his decisions because the uncertainty of not getting the ball potentially is getting to him. But for example, against Olympiacos, the through balls like 3-4 Odegaard played were fantastic. I like those passes between the lines, some more risky plays. Because one of the biggest issues with Arsenal, for me personally, was the fact that we play too safe. We tend to recycle the ball, pass it backwards, and do all that crap. And Odegaard obviously came back. He had man of the match performance for me against Olympiacos. That's for all the dumbasses who think I always moan about Odegaard. I don't. And overall, yeah, he had some great passes. Just wish Gyökeres could score. If he scores one, then after that, I think it's going to be easy. We say Hansi Flick, etc., but we have seen Saka and Saliba commit their sin. You know that they are staying despite Mikel being here as well. You want to say that they stay because they love Mikel. How about they stay because Berta has said that Mikel is going to go and they're going to get a proper manager in? Like, there's also that. Does Victor really fit in Arsenal's playing style? Depends which playing style we're talking about. Because if we talk 22-23 season, I can see that. If we talk about 25 season, I don't see that. But we can make it work if Mikel Arteta is willing to change his ways. If Mikel Arteta is willing to change himself, change his style, and evolve, as he loves to say. Because everything stems from the manager. And if he is as stubborn as everyone thinks he is, including myself, unfortunately, Victor Gyökeres, to a certain extent, is set up for disaster. Saying that, Victor Gyökeres is that good of a striker, in my opinion, that he will get the goals despite Mikel Arteta's system. Just like Bukayo Saka, despite Mikel Arteta's changes, constant stupidity he does on the pit with the team, he still gets the GA. That's just because Saka is that good. Big up the community. Hit the likes, people, and subscribe if you haven't already. Big up everyone. Talking about history, have you ever hated some players, but eventually they joined Arsenal somehow. I could name 3: Davor Suka, William Gallas, and Mikel Silvestre. Nah, I don't hate players. Like, I'm not a person who hates, because hate for me is a very strong word, which I don't use lightly, first of all, in life in general. And I don't have a player I hate. Do I have players I don't like? Yes, I do. Like Bruno Fernandes, Aaron Gordon from Newcastle, but that comes from Everton days. I thought he was a prick, a bit of a, but it is what it is. But there are players I don't like. But the player that I didn't like that has joined Arsenal, personally, no. There are just players I don't rate that have joined Arsenal in recent times, like Havertz, Merino, and players like that. They committed because Berta showed them that this will be Arteta's last season. This is something I believe, by the way. This is something I believe strongly. That these players are re-signing contracts despite the fact that Mikel is here. And Andrea Berta has told them that, well, if this manager doesn't win anything, he's gone. Easy as that. Mikel is good, and the only problem is he's learning on the job. 6 years and still learning on the job. Fuck me. 6 years and he makes the same mistakes. That is not a mistake anymore. That is a decision. With the player management, squad rotations, and everything. That and the tactics and the style, it's not a mistake. It's a decision. Because one time you do it, it's a mistake. 2 or 3 times, that's already a conscious decision to do so, because you haven't learned from the first time. That's on you. Disagree a bit. We were poor on defense with set pieces versus teams that also focus on set pieces so far, apart from Newcastle, but didn't really face any. Crystal Palace, Spurs, Fulham, that is the worry. In general, yes. But for me, it's not always like the teams that focus or something like that. It's just that it feels like the team somehow tends to panic to a certain extent as soon as the ball gets crossed in. And that, for me, is a very weird situation. Mikel is on Wenger level. They will never sack him. What? Mikel is on Wenger level. Deep breaths, and let's move on. 6 years into learning the job, has no more skills. Yeah, true. 6 years. Don't ever compare this fraud. Facts. Don't ever. You hate Joe Linton. Interesting. I smell a debate. Eros loves a debate. Seriously, he should be named D-Ross. Not Eros, but D-Ross. The D stands for debate. If you wait, John, in that case, don't count the FA Cups that Arteta won in his first season. Can't work both ways. Yeah, true. So can't count the first 3 years. We had Socrates and Kolasinac. So if you don't count the first 3 years, Arteta has been here for 4 years almost. He has literally won less than me on FIFA. I have won on FIFA more trophies than him. And to be honest, in school football, I won more trophies than as a player with no manager, by the way. And well, he has spent 790 million. And he's getting 15.6 million based on that, in your case, the way you're saying. That's just, what? What? And to be honest, this is also true. The first 3 years don't count. Those players you don't want to count in the first 3 years are the only players that have won this manager something as well. But just look how we got bantered before. Mikel has put respect in banter. We still get bantered. Banter never ends. because he has found a new. Yes, maybe we don't get bantered based on certain scores anymore, but we still get bantered in terms of stupid gimmicks, Mikel Arteta stuff he does, merch, and things we get our manager says and represents the team in interviews. We still get the banter. Banter never stops. That is just part of football you cannot take away. Like, that is a never-ending one. Wenger level in terms of comfortable. That is even worse to a certain extent. I never got bantered before. This is a myth. We got bantered. Yeah, we always get bantered, to be honest. Always. Hey, what did I do? Again, Eros, why are you laughing at me? Remember David Luiz days. Not gonna lie, and many people will disagree with me on this. David Luiz at Arsenal, was he great? No. But he was a bit underrated at Arsenal, I'm not gonna lie. 6 years on the job and still learning. F me, I could still say it. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Imagine you go for a new job and your trial period is not a month, it's not 3 months, it's 6 years. And for those 6 years, in real world, you don't get the real salary. After you pass the trial period, your salary gets the real thing. But imagine you have a trial period of 6 years, and in those 6 years, your salary increases like tenfold. Like, what the hell? Even in Wenger's last 3 years, he won 5 years, he won 3 FA Cups and still qualified for Champions League and also Europa. Arteta finished 8th, 5th, 5th. Yeah, and with the team that won the FA Cup, he finished in those places. And then Eros, do we just hate Mikel because he hasn't won a trophy? No, it's not. Definitely not. Without shadow of a doubt, it's not. Nowhere close. The fact that he hasn't won a trophy, that's one thing. The reasons behind this is the fact that how he portrays himself, what following he has created, how he treats players, how he treats, let's just say, regular people, for lack of a better word, how he presents himself as an Arsenal, because he presents Arsenal every time he does an interview, the methods he does, the fact that he doesn't learn, same mistakes, same issues, same statements, nothing changes. It's literally like watching the same movie on repeat and expecting different outcome. It's literally like watching Home Alone for 7 years straight. Well, to be honest, in our lives, that means watching for 30 years straight, but that's a bit different story, right? You watch Home Alone for 30 years straight, and every time you watch, you hope that actually Marv, for example, catches Kevin and they rob the house. That Kevin actually wakes up and goes with the team to with family to Miami, for example. Seriously, that's like basically that. That's like, again, like Kevin actually flies back to home, not stays in New York. Something like that, basically. Today it's a mad one. What's the story with Gabriel? He's yellow in my FPL. He's a big up Terry, by the way. He is a question mark for tomorrow because he got a knock or whatever against Olympiacos when he collided with David Raya, if I'm not mistaken. That was then. He got subbed off for Mosquera, obviously. And Mikel Arteta today in the interview said that he is not sure as of yet because they didn't train today. They're gonna see tomorrow what is what. So basically, Gabriel for tomorrow is questionable. Let's just put it that way. I want Diego Simeone. Interesting. Diego Simeone. To be honest, I would take him as well. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Diego Simeone. Hendon wants Luis Enrique. I would take Flick, Simeone, Enrique, Inzaghi. I would try Giselle from Al Ahly. If none of them want to come, I would instantly take Glasner, for example. There are options. Where are options? My love for Arsenal is bigger than your hate for Mikel. Well, good for you. Crochet that on a pillow and sleep on it. To be fair, we are getting banter for different reasons. Yeah, exactly. The banter never ends. You just get bantered for different reasons. Doesn't make it better. I respect your views, but you still get the fact that after the money and patience spent, he must. Exactly. Like, I don't hate him. I just think him as a serial failure. Nothing personal, just results. Exactly. Results driven at the end of the day as well. And team can spend too. Hey, Paul, City, Chelsea, dude. They win stuff. We don't. United in 3 years has won more than we in this almost 7 Arteta has been here. United under Egg Hog has been to 3 finals and won 2 of those. We have been to final once and we have won it. Wow. But we don't go to finals. Spurs have been to more finals and they have won a final, mind you. Leicester have won. Palace have won. Newcastle have won. Not even to mention Chelsea that have won Champions League, Club World Cup, and Conference League in the meantime. Liverpool have won it all. City have won it all. The Arsenal ladies, the Arsenal ladies as well. Yeah, they have one more. Arsenal ladies have 2 Champions Leagues. 2 Champions Leagues the ladies have. They won one last year. Our men's team has 1 Champions League final appearance in 2006. Our women's team has won Champions League twice. They have more Champions League trophies than we have finals appearances as a men's team. Every team that spent around our amount of money want more than FA Cup and 2 Community Shields. True. No, we're not. And just saying how it feels. Not to I remember that. I run my own IT company specializing in security sector. If you work for me and fail to meet the KPIs, then I find, yeah, get it. It's your company. You need results. Exactly. No matter how it's done. Chelsea spent $1 billion and won a Club World Cup. We have spent $1 billion and we have won fuck all cup. Basically. Wenger won us the double in 98, bro. Mikel not even close. Exactly. Exactly. To be honest, Wenger with a team that was 10 times worse than the team we have right now won FA Cups. Remember the days of Marwan Shamach and Squillaci and Senderos, Johan Juru. Who else we had there? Like players like Reo Miyachi, Takuma Asano, Yaya Sanogo, Park, Gervinho, of course, and all these men. Jenkinson, Chambers, Almunia. Who else was there? Like we had loads of them. Loads. Wenger with those players managed to win the FA Cup. We cannot do that in general. Yes, he had ballers as well, just like this team has, but come on. There is no chance in hell that Arteta could win an FA Cup with... let's just put it this way. Let me check this. I'm just quickly going through this. 14 FA Cups, right? Give me a second. I'm looking for something. It'll be nice if it loaded, because then I wouldn't have to wait so long and search for so long. Where is it? It's nuts. Diego Simeone, Enrique, Hansi Flick, Inzaghi, Ancelotti, Conte, Glasner, Eddie Howe, and they finally ran it. AJ is still pushing for an A, you know. I coach tennis and cricket, right? Comparing Arteta and Arsenal is like being a general manager of a top 10 company that's a top 500 company. You'd never be 6 years in the job, be called a rookie. You'd be gone quick. Yeah, exactly. You'd be gone real quick. Real quick. They won Conference League. They've been more finals than us, and they profit on players they bought. Their system works in that department. Exactly. That is also a case. Their system works. If you fail and they adequately coach your students, then they leave, then hire someone else. And it's 65 tall. Yeah, Arsenal ladies are 65 tall trophies. Like, imagine Arsenal ladies have 65 trophies. Arsenal men's team have 47 trophies. Arsenal women's team is 40 years old. 40. Arsenal men's team next year is going to be 140 years old. Like, that is alone. Yee. But that is a very nuts part. Chelsea can afford being poor for a decade. They won all European Cups. We have less than squad. We have diddly squad. The West Ham game will be Arteta's 300th game. No, only one final, nothing since. This is a proof that this is a fail. Exactly, and he's gonna get a statue and a mural and at this rate, probably a street named right next to Emirates after him. I don't know, a railroad station, bus station, something like. Bus stop named after him, and I don't know what else. There will be an Arteta stand as well in the Emirates at some point at this pace, the way this is going. It's actually insane. On a side note, here we go. I knew that captaining Semenyo versus Fulham in FPL was a grave mistake. Well, I guess it is what it is in those terms, isn't it? It is what it is. To be honest, it's only half time. So we cannot speak too soon. It's only half time. So we'll see how that's going to go. We'll see. It's half time. So yeah, it's still 0-0, but yeah. I don't get the fascination in Fürth. I don't as well. It's kind of nuts, to say the least. How can people support teams like Villa and Newcastle? Said there's no given right that we win. I hope Mikel wins this season. I'm 100% sure he has reached the end of the process. You're 100% sure that Arteta is going to win something this season. That is one hell of a confidence in a manager who has won fuck all in the last 5 years. Hell of a confidence, to say the least. People, you know that most people who support teams like Villa, Newcastle are people from those cities. They have been born into those teams, basically. The teams that are more global, like Arsenal, United, because they are worldwide winners. Everyone knows we have the merits. That's why we are worldwide. Arteta has the best squad in the Premier League, no question. Zero excuses not to win. Exactly. Zero excuses not to win the Premier League, Champions League, do the quadruple this year. Best team, best looking manager, best looking squad, everything. Win everything. Mikel got more points than Wenger and still never won. The level has gone up. No hiding place. Sack him. I don't care. As I said, Arsenal is the first man. Wait, what? Mikel got more points than Wenger. So what? Literally, so goddamn what? More points than Wenger. So what? Literally, so goddamn what? More points than Wenger. Okay, this is 60 times 22, 1,000. How can he even get more points than Wenger? Wenger was here for 22 years. Wenger was here for 22 years. It's physically impossible to get more than Arteta. It's physically impossible. On top of all that, in the last 5 years, Wenger won 3 FA Cups. In the 22 years Wenger was Arsenal's manager, he finished twice outside of top 4. Arteta did it 3 times in his first 3 years. No idea what you're talking about here. And despite winning more points than Wenger, if you mean a separate season, then I can see it. Maybe if you talk about it that, but Wenger still wins trophies without that. Wenger has the merits, and that's at the end with all that matters. At the end of the day, no matter how you look at it, that's all that matters. because that's like, for I can work in a job for a year, another person works there for 10 years, but if I apply the strategy properly and I do my job properly, there's a big possibility many times that I will achieve more in that year than the other person has achieved in 10. Obviously, that's what basically that means. At the same time, he has more experience, so chances of me doing that pretty much are less than nothing. Brighton has our number. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose to them. That Carabao Cup game is gonna be nuts. They have played two teams in Carabao Cup. Both teams have beaten 6-0. Arsenal barely got past Port Vale to some extent, what it feels like. Not to mention that Brighton beat two teams that are above Port Vale in the league. One is in Championship. One was the fifth or sixth in the League One. In those terms. Semenyo can redeem himself 100%. Half time, there's still plenty of football to go. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, the thing is, Arteta came in at Arsenal to fix some issues, right? People can agree with that. He has done a decent job of fixing some of them, right? But it has come to a point that the biggest issue that we need to fix at this club at the moment is manager himself. Arteta has become the issue that needs fixing. It's not anymore some other issues. We can also actually close our eyes to certain issues at the club currently. The biggest issue at the moment is the manager, no matter how you look at it. Well, so far, all I can do is still glorifying the Golden Premier League trophy by being the only invincible team so far. Yeah, but it's just gold. That's the only thing our fan base is holding on to. That's the nuts part. Many Arsenal fans who are Arteta glazing Arteta left and right. Oh, the history doesn't matter. Only the things that matter are right now. But as soon as they are into an argument, they need to prove their point. They instantly start talking about the past. If you are so against the past, don't use it in your argument then. Make it make sense as well in those terms. That is another thing. In those terms. But yeah. Tomorrow, 300 matches. 300 matches at Arsenal for Mikel Arteta. That is a scary, scary thing to think about. Very scary. But yeah, tomorrow it's going to be a rough game. No matter how you look at it, tomorrow's game is going to be rough. I would love to see Arsenal absolutely annihilating the West Ham. I would love for him to annihilate them. But will it happen? I kind of don't see it. I just kind of don't see it at the moment. That golden trophy is a massive curse, has been for Arsenal, isn't it? That golden trophy has been a massive curse to a certain extent for Arsenal, hasn't it? 14 likes, big up to you all. Like and subscribe, people. Very hard being a coach. When you win, it's the players. When you lose, it's the coach. For me, it's never been like that. I've never have done this. Never have been on that. I've been a player. I've been a coach. No, not a professional coach, but to some extent a coach. I've always been like that if you lose, you both lose. If you win, you both win. Whenever Arsenal win, I always give players the props. I always give Arteta the props. If we suck and we lose, Arteta is at fault and the players are at fault. I always put them both on the same category. Obviously, someone has more blame than the other one, but hey, that's a bit different story. He didn't come in to fix some issues. He was the PR Sam. To some extent, I see it. But there were some issues at Arsenal. You cannot also go away. Were there as dramatic as it was portrayed in the media? No chance in hell. That wasn't the case. He fixed some issues? Yes, he did. The issue is he has become the issue right now, and he doesn't want to admit that. They discarded Emery. They got the EU fine on the first year because he didn't seem long-term. Yeah, exactly. Emery had standards, and, well, let's be real, the club didn't. Looking forward to United vs Sunderland match 2 at 3 p.m. Saturday. Could be Amorim's sack watch. Isn't that at the same time Arsenal play tomorrow? Isn't that game at the same time Arsenal play tomorrow? Yeah, it's at the same time. It's such a shame. Such a shame. I would love to watch the El Saki, the sack match. Would sounds very mad when I say it, but I would love to watch the game where Amorim's job is on the line and could be sacked. Big up DJ2. Big up DJ2. Hope you're doing well today. Big up DJ2. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Yeah, it's at the same time. It's so annoying. Like, literally so annoying. But yeah, people. We need to do the starting 11 predict. Well, I'm gonna do it. Multi-screen, 2 screens, one here, one there, something on the third one, and everything's multiple tabs and I'm gonna do that, definitely. I'm gonna do that. But starting 11 for tomorrow. Starting 11 for tomorrow. Well, what can we expect? I expect Saliba to start, though. Calafiori has the yellow issue as well. He's very close to being binned off. Not gonna lie. I can see Odegaard starting. Hey. So basically, this is the starting 11. Well, Gabriel's fitness is an issue, but this is the starting 11 I can see Arteta going with, right? Obviously, with Gabriel being a question mark, I can see this being the starting 11. Obviously, Gabriel right now is the enigma that we don't know whether he's gonna play or not. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm good. Big up to you. Thank you. If Arsenal. This is the thing. This is the starting 11 I can see Mikel Arteta going with for tomorrow. Especially if Gabriel is out. Because Gabriel is still no idea what's going on there. Not going on there. Now, saying that, I'm going to put out a 11 I want to see myself. Rice. Odegaard. Now, this is a starting 11 if Gabriel is not injured. Now, the thing is, though, could this be a case for this as well? We're going to do this straight after the starting 11, Stockholm. We're going to talk about the starting 11 straight after this. We're going to do this straight after we're going to talk about the starting 11. Let's just put it that way. 1-0 West Ham incoming. Dude, if that happens tomorrow's stream, I might get cancelled. I'd go Calafiori and Skelly on the left. If Gabi is not fit, also actually would start Martinelli. I can see that. For me, it solely depends what Espirito Santo could be doing. But given the fact that Trossard has started a few games, and for me, he's not a starter, to be honest, none of them are a starter. I can see this, but personally, given that Mosquera, right, has played also left center back for Valencia, I can see this. This would be my starting 11 for tomorrow if Gabriel is injured. If Gabriel is good, obviously Gabriel goes into the team. This would be my starting 11 for tomorrow if Gabriel is injured. My starting 11. Obviously, with Arteta, it would be Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, and Eze most likely on the left wing. The usual stuff, most likely. For me, Raya, Timba, Saliba, Gabriel, Skelly, Right, Odegaard, Eze, Sakiokeres, Vanieri. Yeah, Vanieri would be a nice touch. I'm not gonna lie, Vanieri would be a nice touch. The thing about Vanieri is, though, he wants to cut in, and from the left side, he cannot do that. That, for me, is the other thing. Vanieri doesn't want to cut in. Look, he can't cut in from the left. Obviously, would love to see it, but hey, for me, I would put out this 11. I would definitely would see this. Now, let's just say it as it is. Arteta most likely. Most likely. We could see this 11 tomorrow. Wouldn't be surprised. Keep sacking until win. Keep selling best players replacement. Sack until keep winning. That works for everyone besides Arsenal. Zubendi, Trossard, Calafiori need to hold the bench there. Yeah, they have. And to be honest, like Trossard for me is a starter, bench player, sorry. Zubimendi has been questionable, but we need something to happen. Calafiori, he is in the risk zone, to be honest. I think he's 1 or 2 yellows away already from getting 1 match suspension by default for picking up too many yellows. He already is on that cusp. 6 games in, 3 yellows, or 4. He already is on that cusp. Let's just put it that way. I give up. Arteta is a wimp. Needs to sack this game. Yeah, definitely. Raya, Timba, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Zumendi, Rice, Odegaard, Gyökeres, Saka. I think Arteta will go with this 11. Now, the thing is, if Gabriel is not injured, right? I think this will... If Gabriel is not injured, this is starting 11. If Gabriel is not injured. If Gabriel is injured, again, for him, there will be Mosquera, right? If Gabriel is injured, I can see this being a thing. Now, if this was me, personally, Skelly against Bowen doesn't matter, to be honest. Wait, I did right. I would go with something like this if that was me. If I was the manager. No, Saka left wing, Gyökeres strike, Manieri right wing. Oh, that is nice. To be honest, I would be for it. I would be always sorts on for this. Saka has been drifting across the front line quite a bit in the last 2 games as well, hasn't he? So definitely wouldn't be against that. Let's give him this season. If he doesn't bring us glory, sacked. Should have been sacked last year and year before that. But hey, on the other hand, putting Calafiori and MLS on the same flank is a major issue. Exactly, hence why one or the other only. Both of them don't see to defend well on flanks. There might be some yellow-red card territory. Exactly, hence why something like this. If Big Gabi is injured, Mosquera, no problem. Exactly. Hinkapie is going to be back after international break. Might finally see him for some extended period of time. Will be nice to see how he plays as well. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, I actually wouldn't be against this starting 11 tomorrow. Anyone has any objections against this starting 11 if Arteta puts this starting 11 out tomorrow? What are we saying? If this starting 11, are you for it or against it? If Arteta puts this 11 out, let's just say 1 hour before kickoff, and Mikel Arteta puts this starting 11 out. Are you pissed off? Are you happy? Are you annoyed or what? Just random question before we do the score predictions. DG2 agrees. The starting 11 is fired. Like, obviously, if Gabriel is fit, Big Gabi is fit, he starts instead of Mosquera. That goes without saying, right? If he's not fit, put Mosquera there. Besides that, it actually works. Like, I wouldn't be against this. I definitely would be for it. Definitely not against it. Somehow, I don't think we will never have the best scenario with Norgard as a star. Norgard as a starter. What? Norgard is not there even. Norgard is holding bench and he's sitting there as comfortably under his blanket as possible. Let's be real. Norgard should be nowhere near Arsenal's starting team. He can be on the bench, rotate, but as a starter, no chance in hell. Yeah, to be honest, might as well kept El Neni if we want to talk about this. Norgard, El Neni, same thing, to be honest. One is just a bit taller than the other. That's about it. Plus, El Neni at least once a year scores like a 30 to 40 yard banger against someone. That also it was always a given in those terms. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, people, what are your predictions for the game? Predictions for the game tomorrow. What are we saying? Your predictions for tomorrow. Huh? Slot won his first season with club. If Slot doesn't win anything this season, do you sack him? Slot just won Premier League. There's no chance in hell he's getting sacked. That is just a. I'm sorry, with all due respect, stupid comment. 3-2 Arsenal. You expecting a high-scoring game, and then you think Arsenal are going to concede too. Interesting. 3-0. And to be honest, Liverpool already are talking about slot out many Liverpool fans. Mostly because Liverpool are looking genuinely just a shadow themselves of what they were. Personally, don't really care what he puts who. He can play, he can go right as left wing for all I care, but then he'll be judged. Obviously, everyone's going to get judged accordingly. Like with Man City, he knew he effed up by halftime, made a change. Yeah. I think we'll smoke them 4-0. What gives you this chest of Arsenal winning 4-0? Because we haven't beaten them at Emirates for the last 2 years. Like, that for me is the other thing. That is another thing. Arsenal haven't beaten them in the last 2 home games at all. We lost to them 2-0. And we lost to them 1-0. That doesn't compute well. When he makes a decision, then they must hold accountability the same as he gets praised for all his subs. All I can say, just get the win. Yeah, exactly. Still gonna get judged, but hey. Arsenal 3-0. Interesting. I'm going for stinky 1-1. AJ saying 1-0 West Ham. Damn. No scoreline prediction, just a win. All I can squeeze out 2-0. Interesting. 2-1. I can see that as well. That is interesting as well. I don't hate Arteta. Just think there are like billion managers better than Arteta out there. Let's be real. For me personally, I'm going 3-1. I'm not sure why, but I can see Arsenal conceding. But I think we're gonna score. I'm going 3-1 Arsenal personally. I think we're playing well at the moment. We have better. Yeah, that is obviously we have had the better players also years before. But if we actually manage to, let's just say, if Arteta does what he did against Newcastle and Olympiacos in the first half an hour, he lets the handbrake off, as they say, right? And Arsenal managed to score like 2 quick goals. I think it's going to be done then already, and Arsenal are going to bag like 2 more goals, and it's going to be 3-1, 4-1, something like that. For me, I'm going 3-1 Arsenal. No matter how I think we're gonna concede maybe like a Souček corner or something like that. Souček is gonna hit the ball, but overall, I think yeah, we gonna score a few. Let's just put it that way. But overall, yeah, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. Like that is the weird thing. But yeah, that is the nuts part. That is the nuts part. But hey, it's very interesting. Very interesting. You know what I don't like? I'm gonna say this once, most likely not once. I think at some point, but about this. Mikel also got credit in the bank, won FA Cup in his first season. The nuts part about this comment is the fact that nobody gives Emery credit for that team, and everyone says Arteta is a genius because he coached that team when they won the FA Cup. If the next manager comes in and wins the league with this team, Arteta wins a cup. Not the league, but cup with this team. Arteta just gonna leave, for example. Nobody is gonna give the new manager any credit. Everyone is just gonna say that Arteta was genius for building that team. That manager won with Arteta's players, and nobody is gonna give credit to Mikel Arteta. I already can see this in the making, 100%. Already can see this in the making, which is really nuts for me personally. In those terms. Like, it is what it is. An FA Cup doesn't win you 6 years. FA Cup shouldn't grant you 6 years, 1 billion, and 15.6 million a year. 100%. In those terms. But yeah, people, it is what it is. Big up, Abs! Big up Waffle Don for the raid. Big up Waffle Don for the raid. Much love, brother. Much love, brother. Big up to you, my guy. Big up to you. But yeah. The pressure is Mark overtakes Mikel Orsgan. That is just going from one extreme into another. Like, that doesn't make sense as well. Well, that has been like that for years. Fanbase has been divided since Wenger out days. Fanbase was already divided then, and to be honest, the most I have seen Arsenal fanbase being united was in 22-23 season when we were 8 points clear and Arsenal fans had some cope. That was the one season whole fanbase was united. But for the last 5 Wenger years, Unai Emery, and for the rest of Arteta years, which is now 13 years overall, the fan base has always been divided. It has never, ever been united. Like, for one season, I have seen Arsenal fans being united. I haven't seen them being united more than that. In those terms. Big up Abs for the raid. Big up my guy. Much love, bro. Much love, bro. Even though it was Emery's team, gave Arteta credit for winning FA Cup because he still had to manage the team. Exactly. The nuts part is we have never seen those tactics since, which is also very preposterous in my opinion, because he had, to some extent, a winning blueprint, which he has never used again ever since. The 5 at the back and everything. He has never done it. Like, that as well is somehow weird. Like, that's about it. I gave Arteta winning FA Cup, but I don't hate him. His just tactics haven't been good enough to get us. Exactly. He's just not good enough to get us over the line. The thing that makes us mad is the fact what he says in interviews. Like, he makes him out being some sort of a genius and everything and all this stuff, when, well, obviously he's not. When he lies about stuff in the interviews. And he says some very preposterous things and everything. Like, and it's all over the place. Let's just put it that way. Sacking managers works. PSG have proven it, Bayern, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Chelsea. They have proven that it works. It's just that we are not that team that does that, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we are one of those teams that holds on to players or the managers for longer than we should be doing that. Let's be real. Like for 3-4 years longer than it should have happened. With Mikel Arteta, obviously a bit different story, but overall, let's just say after 22-23 season, maybe 24-25, you could argue, but he should have been gone. He shouldn't have been given last season and this season as well, personally. But yeah, for me, that's gonna be it, people. For me, I'm heading out of here for today. Hopefully tomorrow Arsenal make us happy and win. Let's be real. We're gonna see that tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed and all that stuff. Tomorrow I'm gonna be back, of course. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. UK time, Arsenal match reaction. Whether we're gonna win or not, that is gonna influence the stream quite heavily. But we all know how it's gonna go, most likely. So hopefully it's gonna be happy vibes, and Arsenal are gonna get the job done. So like the stream, people. Subscribe if you're new. And hopefully I'm gonna see you all tomorrow. Enjoy this evening and enjoy tomorrow as well. Peace.